Welcome everybody to Batman the Telltale series world premiere trailer. This is Trailer Blazers. Blake, what do you have to say about Batman?
It's a weird art style, I wasn't expecting it.
Well, yeah, I mean, this is in the usual Telltale art style of sort of very heavy cell shading, but that just looks like Archer. Just looks like Sterling
That's
Archer.
who the fucker reminds me of, Sterling Archer.
Poor Pat Downey is having a bit of a downy day.
You're not allowed to say that anymore.
Oh, no.
Did you remember me telling you can't say that anymore? So this is Batman, the Telltale Arkham series thing. Here he comes, here's Batman. Smash, brilliant.
Just flying around, smashing windows, what he does best.
Now, it's WB. They didn't do too well with the last one, did they?
No, but for this one they are just publishing it from what I can tell. Telltale themselves have a pretty decent track record. That doesn't look like Harvey Dent.
I reckon he might be a bit of a wrong on him, that one there that we just saw.
You think so?
I think he might turn out crazy. He might be a villain later on.
Blake, you're crazy.
It's looking pretty nice. It's got a nice.
Oh, that man has so many chins.
He's got quite a famous voice. I recognise his voice. The guy that plays Falcone. You see, just something about him. I don't know. Not his whole face, but maybe I could just see half of his face being evil.
Yeah, being a bit wrong.
That's Jim Gordon. That looks loads like Jim Gordon. I'll give him that.
A lot of these people look really fucking ugly, don't they? And I don't mean like art style, like sort of the art-wise, but I mean like they're designed to look hideous. It's like the fucking Falcone and Jim Gordon looks...
Well, I think it's a nice way of quickly coding your brain to either like them or not like them by making them attractive.
I know, but it's like...
Grappling hook, whip.
You got your Catwoman.
Catwomen's.
You got random British hobo.
It looks like it's like Telltale's version of Aaron Paul or something. Just knocking about. And I don't know why he came down that building and then ended up right way up on top of the thingy, but never mind.
Batman defying gravity for several years.
I didn't know he was in Wicked. So that's episode 1.
Yeah, Telltale usually do sort of a 5-part episode series that they.
So you're not going to get any good people until like episode 3, baddies wise.
No. Well, that's the thing. Going by that, well, I think that was a trailer for just the first episode.
Yeah.
But just going by that, they've not got a brilliant roster of villains.
It's all kind of C-list at the minute, isn't it? I mean,
it is. I mean,
Two-Face is my favourite one.
Two-Face and Catwoman. Well, she's more of an anti-hero, really, isn't she? She's just sort of, I'm doing it for the money. That's what Catwoman sounds like, by the way. Now
I'm a cat, therefore I have to be a cat burglar.
Yeah.
Which I always thought was a person that stole cats, but by a weird turn of events, it's not.
So, Blake, what did you think of that trailer?
It's looking all right, isn't it?
I mean, yeah, it looks like a Telltale game.
Yeah,
because I've not been a huge fan of the Telltale games. I didn't want to, but it's mostly because what Telltale do is that they just take sort of known copyright. What am I talking about? The known entities and stories, and just putting their own spin on things. So
Back to the Future.
Yeah, they did Back to the Future. They did The Walking Dead, which was its own sort of side story, which wasn't a part of the main thing. They did The Wolf Among Us, which I thought was a brilliant game. I really enjoyed that.
I never played that one. The art style's very telling though, because I know exactly which game you mean, and I didn't know it was Telltale. But now thinking about it most be, because they have that very unique.
They're also
unique, but they're very kind of. They always use cell shaded.
Yeah, they also recently did the Minecraft story mode game,
brilliant.
Which is apparently good. But like I say, I haven't touched it. I've only touched The Wolf Among Us, and I really do like that one.
I've not played any of them, if I'm honest, but because it's Batman's,
yeah,
and I love Batman's.
Might worth a go. I mean, I know before we started recording, you showed some concern for how the actual combat would be, and I will say it's not too bad for Telltale games. I mean, it's usually just sort of like, quick click this area here, or quick press this button here. It's just quick time events.
Yeah,
that's what the entire concept of the game is. Honestly, it's like pick a
dialogue option.
Pick a dialogue option. It'll make you a good person, a bad person, or 2 neutral options.
How is that? Because that's the thing. You didn't see any of that dialogue tree. That was very stylized. It was very sort of. This is very story heavy, and I understand that's what Telltale do.
Yeah,
but there's literally no gameplay in there.
No.
If you see what I mean. There was no actual, like a dialogue tree or, you're deciding options and things.
Yeah.
It was more like a slick... almost like a movie trailer, almost.
Yeah.
Which was cool. I don't mind that. But yeah, I was just kind of expressing concerns. But then again, thinking about it, if I wanted a combat-heavy, open-world exploration, like Batman with all the villains in, I could play Arkham Knight.
Yeah,
and then similarly just completely tear my brain out through my nostrils and punk kick it off Putney Bridge.
Riddle me this, Batman. What has a V8 engine and goes 200 miles per hour? Get in the Batmobile.
This isn't really... Get in the Batmobile.
All right.
It's your
all right,
game.
Mum.
Remember when you used to ask me riddles? Yeah, I ran out of those 2 games in. Now...
I had 5. I'm sorry. I hadn't planned this far ahead.
Usually what I do is do those 5, and then, like, get some sort of trap to bonk you on the head so you forget those 5, and I can do those 5 again.
We go 5 years doing this.
You're an octogenarian now, you're in your 80s, when are you going to give it up? But yeah, I don't know, I mean, like, it looks exciting. Obviously it's going to be a smaller game.
Yeah.
As well. It's going to be very linear, which isn't bad. That kind of side of Batman can be explored. It just depends how much they're willing to go into what makes Batman Batman. We've said before, it hasn't got a good roster of villains, but sometimes that can work in its favour, because you're giving the people that haven't got a lot.
If you're focusing on sort of the Batman Bruce Wayne sort of inner feud that he has with that sort of thing, which it looks like they are going for. I mean, the entire intro was do not let your family's name be this or something.
Yeah,
like that.
Don't let your legacy go on in tombstones. Have a life, but also keep kicking criminals and potheads in the teeth.
I'm Alfred. I'm here to give you wisdom advice, even though what the fuck have I done with my life?
Other than being the militia and stop a jewel thief.
Yeah!
I say, anyway.
It was a tangerine the size of a testicle, Mr. Bruce.
or something like that. But yeah, I don't know, I mean,
you mentioned earlier it looks kind of like a Batman movie they're advertising, but at the same time, it doesn't look like that good of a Batman film.
No, but because you've got the B-list villains and stuff, you're then not focused on the things that have been done already. So if you have the Joker in there, it'll always be like, oh, it's the Joker and Batman, the two sides of the same coin, blah-de-blah-de-blah.
Which, and honestly, they'll probably be best to stick away from the Joker.
Exactly, because what with, like, Suicide Squad coming out soon, and, like, you know, the way he was in The Dark Knight as well, everyone has their own version, and he was in a lot heavily in the Arkham games. Yeah. Even to the point where when he was dead, he was still in them.
Spoilers.
Well, if you've not played it by now, play it, for fuck's sake. So, it is good to steer away from those guys. And still, because it's episode 1, they've got the potential, episode 3, 4, bring in the big guns, you know?
Yeah.
Because every Batman story, I think it was year 1, the first Batman, not the first Batman comic, but the one that told his story at the beginning, featured around him taking down the gangs. And this is like Batman Year 1, he's taking down the gang.
Yeah, because it's before, obviously, all burned up Harvey Dent.
Yeah.
And it's Don Falcone's still around.
Yeah, exactly. And that was the plot of Batman Begins, I believe, as well, to a certain extent, was the mobs and the Falcones.
I believe so, yeah.
And more so, it was number 2 as well, to a lesser extent.
It's also a big part of the Gotham series it's running right now. I really enjoy that. It's kind of poorly written, but in the same way a comic is.
Yeah. So, it's endearing and charming. Like a retarded dog.
You can't say that anymore.
What, dog? What was
No.
Sorry, K9 UK citizen. Sorry.
But yeah,
sorry, to completely change the subject. Have you heard you got to call animals by gender-neutral pronouns now, apparently?
You don't have to.
In case your dog's transgender.
You don't have to.
Anyway.
I'm sure dogs don't even care.
I'm sure I don't understand what you're saying.
Just as long as they can lick whatever's down there, they're happy.
You mean on the dog, right?
Yeah.
No, because it's back on Dog Cunnilingus again!
When did we get back to Dog Cunnilingus?
We've just gone right back again!
When did we start there?
We said that we wouldn't do that anymore. It was ages ago. We did have a whole thing where we were like, I think it was doing the LA Noire stuff, we were talking about Dog Cunnilingus for a bit.
I remember now.
How did you forget?
Anyway. Never forget Dog Cunnilingus 2016.
Batman.
Batman.
K9 oral expert. No, Batman. It looks cool. I've never played one of their games before. I'm more interested in this one than I have been in any of them before, mainly because it's a property that I know, a property that I love. It's exciting for me, but I'd like to, again, with episodic gameplay, what I want to do is wait till it all comes out, then get the whole lot, and
that's
then play
usually
all the way
the best. Wait for it all to come out, and then wait for it to be in a Steam sale.
Yeah,
that's usually the best way.
I don't mind buying it like when it's all kind of put together on the PS Network at the end, like for a full price thing. But I don't want to buy like a bit of it and have to wait a year for the next bit and the next bit.
Yeah,
you know? I'd rather play all the way through.
They're usually decent, Telltale. But sometimes they've tripped up on that. Like, I think it was the Game of Thrones one, they belted out in half a year. But
they did Game of Thrones, so didn't they?
Yeah, but that one wasn't particularly favourable, from what I understand.
Well, I mean, it's a very difficult property to adapt into a story linear. You wouldn't think so, but I can imagine it is.
Well, I think the issue that Telltale have is that anything they do is never canonical.
Yeah, so therefore they couldn't do anything impactful with the story.
It's fan fiction gameplay, basically. Yeah. But I mean, it looks interesting. I'll give it that.
No,
I mean,
I do say it's piqued my interest.
I do like what Telltale do, but one issue I have with the trailer is that it kind of assumes that you know what Telltale are about, because just looking at that game as someone who has never played Telltale, I can only assume that you're thinking, where's the gameplay in this?
Yeah,
which
I can't.
It didn't showcase any of that.
I don't see where it could slot in. I know it will slot in. But I might find that I might kind of be watching a bit and be like, oh, this is a great episode of Batman the Animated Series. What? I'm supposed to press buttons now with my big fat fumbly ham fingers.
I think that might be all we have to say about it.
Well, I mean, not only that, but I mean, it's the case of he says starting the sentence with something to hopefully end the sentence with, but he hasn't got anything.
No, yeah.
It looks interesting, like I said, and I'm probably going to wait for some more trailers. Probably see what happens in episode 3, 4, and 5. You know,
Yeah.
Do they get Bane in there?
I would love to see a Bane in there. In
I
that
want
art
him to be
style.
Mexican Bane.
Yeah, proper luchador Bane.
Yeah, I want to see that. I want to see that because I don't want to Ra's al Ghul, take it or leave it, mate. I'm honest. Whatever.
Give me Liam Neeson or don't bother.
Yeah, exactly. Don't bother. The Jim Gordon looked good. Jim Gordon's one of my favourite characters.
Yeah,
he
he had like proper fat chin though.
Yeah, that's what he looks like. That looks almost picture perfect. The last time I remember seeing him in the comic books.
That's the thing, because like a lot of
the animated series. Looks like one of the animated series.
A lot of the sort of Batman characters, particularly the good guys, they tend to have like really like proper dinner tray jawlines, don't they?
It's basically a comic proportion that you use just for heroes.
Yeah.
So I remember when I remember reading a book about how like comic book stereotypes come down, and if you got a hero back in the Silver Age and things like that, what you did is you made him like a fridge. You gave him very big, wide shoulders, and he came down it's like a triangle. He comes down, so his feet kind of are in the middle. So you just know what I mean, right?
Yeah.
And then you got like the big kind of square jaw on the head because it shows heroism.
Yeah, it sort of looks a bit like David Boreanaz.
Yeah, yeah. You know, that's kind of what that's the thing about comic books, not this. But yeah, other than the Batman looking like Archer,
yeah,
it looks all right, right? Looks alright. It's interesting. I'll have a look at it.
Trust me, I would love to see a Batman where he just walks around with a jug of Bloody Marys everywhere.
I'd enjoy that too. Batman's let himself go. He's like squeezing the bat suit, everything's pinging off. Like that bit from The Incredibles. It would just be the bit from The Incredibles, wouldn't it?
It would just be The Incredibles. They've already done that, Blake. Shall we move on?
Incredibles 2 looks alright.
Incredibles 2 looks good, but we're not doing that for trailer places.
Okay, we're talking about Batman. It looks good. I'll have a look at it. I'll wait till the more adverts come out and I'll have a look at it. And maybe something with a bit of gameplay next time, Telltale will be lovely. Then I can move from there then on my personal opinion on that one. But there we go.
Well, that's okay. We'll come back to this after we review the next trailer, so see you in a second. And now we have the trailer for Detroit Become Human, shown at E3 2016, the Sony press conference.
There's Two-Face again!
Yeah, we go through this nonsense again.
With the coin.
Two-Face has gotten very good at that trick.
That's cool. That is cool.
That is cool. This guy kind of looks like... Oh, this is obviously a David Cage game. Mm-hmm. That guy kind of looks like the one from Heavy Rain, I think.
Oh, well,
am I just getting...
Norman? The copper one or
the copper one?
Yeah, Norman.
Or am I just confusing like all white guys with nice hair in suits?
So basically, what's going on? This is the David Cage game, so it's all about the emotions.
It's all about the emotions. Yeah.
That fella's a fucking android.
Fucking android, and that lady's daughter just got taken by a fucking android. And she's best not pleased with it.
No, she's not having it. But okay, so it's the Quantic Dream game.
Yeah, it's a Quantic Dream, and it looks like they're going for something similar to what they did with Heavy Rain, but
yeah,
with the investigation stuff, which is good.
I really enjoyed that.
I really like that from Heavy Rain.
Piecing the kind of case together.
How did you feel about Beyond Two Souls? Because I don't think
I was indifferent.
Oh,
I enjoyed it, but
not as good as Heavy Rain.
No,
most people,
no.
you know.
His peanut butter and jelly sandwich has got blown out of his pocket. Then
it's like, bastards. That's my dinner, you fuck.
So this is the evil android. It's kind of like iRobot. If you've seen that, it's basically iRobot.
Imagine iRobot meets AI meets Blade Runner.
Look.
Clean this up right now, young man.
Oh, you go to bed without any supper.
He's got the red ring of death on his head as well.
Yeah. Can we just turn him on and off again?
That gun looks really low res, by the way. For as nice as everyone else looks, like the handgun he's holding.
It's a very pretty game.
Yeah, I mean, that's what, if anything, what Quantic Dream does best is just really pretty visuals.
I don't know. Have you seen Heavy Rain lately? It looks like something out the fucking Uncanny
Well, yeah,
Valley.
I mean, they're always striving to improve, but I think that's one of their issues, is that the prettier they go, like, the more outdated their older stuff looks.
Yeah, true.
Which is only natural in this industry.
Yeah, he lost his tie, by the way. He had a tie on. Now
did he lose his tie?
I don't know. You didn't see it. It just kind of... Things could have been different. He could have kept his tie on.
Yeah, this is my main concern with the trailer, because right now you can see that he's going back and doing some proper investigating before
get that
going out
mouth.
there, and I'm assuming the android's just kind of like, is he going to be long? I've got plans.
He's going to get, like, android AIDS by licking that android's blood.
Don't!
To get a computer virus or something.
So yeah, is the game, like, gonna be this one thing that you do over and over again? I mean, there are... Spoiler alert, there are bits here where the main character here dies, which doesn't tend to happen in Heavy Rain games.
No. So my assumption would be when he dies, he doesn't actually die. Like, he's like the android from Alien, his head's just kicking around for
that's
a bit,
one thing
and
that
then
Quantic
pop him on
Dream...
a new body.
That's one thing that Quantic Dream doesn't do. They don't do game overs.
Yeah, true.
They don't do go the fuck back and do it again.
The story has to keep carrying on.
Yeah,
so will it be a different android? With a little girl trying to live in a world of androids?
I don't know, because from what I understand, there was a completely different trailer for this. It was either like last year or 2 years ago. Just kind of showing something completely different. But, you know, I mean, it looks good, honestly.
Why did she go there? Is what I want to know.
She just sort of fell over and went, well, I'll just stay here for a while.
It's been a long day.
Yeah.
I'm going to need a lot of SpongeBob SquarePants.
My legs are tired from not using them for 20 minutes.
I need a lot of SpongeBob SquarePants to get over this.
Connor, give me your answer.
So yeah, that bad choice.
Bad choice.
Wrong move. That's the way it all's going to work out. Kind of like the butterfly effect. I think you mentioned this from Until Dawn. This was great. Who the fuck are you talking to?
I like the android just sort of in the background, so it's like, what?
What are you saying? What?
Speak loud, you just blown out my fucking audio circuits.
So yeah, it looks alright, apart from having a stupid name, Detroit Become Human.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, when I just knew it as Detroit, that was a bit better, honestly, but...
That's kind of like Detroit now, just take out the androids and put in lots more murders.
Yeah, just less blue blood and more red blood.
Yes.
So, Blake, what did you think of the trailer?
I am very excited, and I'll tell you for why. Because I really like David Cage's games, even though most of them are actually pretty shit.
That's the thing, I always love David Cage's games the first time I play them.
Me too.
It's like, this is brilliant. I love the story of this. I love what I'm doing with these characters. And then you go back and play. It's like, this is kind of naff.
I'm
isn't
starting to see gaps in this story that I did not see before.
Yeah.
So I guess his main skill. I mean, charlatans still have skills. Don't get me wrong. The skill of deception.
Oh yeah.
So his main skill is deceiving you into thinking you're having a good time.
Yeah.
David Cage.
which
is a rarity.
To be fair, as a content creator, that's a decent talent to have.
It's better than EA's kind of main skill, and that's just like...
Which is telling you you're having a good time.
Yeah.
Regardless.
Give us $4.99, you got a better time. But I'm very excited, because I really like his games, and I understand he's not a very good writer, and even that was coming across at the end as very hammy. Hello, I'm Connor. This is our story. Oh, fuck off, Connor. You're on Towie, mate. Can we just get to more of the exciting stuff,
just cuts
please?
to him going down to fucking, like, the Essex Tan Salon.
Can you imagine him getting one of those vajazzle things on his little android?
I'm assuming he's like he's like a Ken doll
down there. It's smooth down there.
That, or the best sort of design for an android like that is that it's got like a plug socket on the end, and that's how they recharge. They just
slip into the wall.
Yeah.
Can you imagine that, having to live with that? I'm just going to go charge now. Alright, don't be creeping weird about it. I won't. You walk in, his head spins around 30 degrees. Do you want anything? Do you want any dinner? And not now we're fucking humping the wall, I don't know.
That's how you know it's funny, just starts gyrating a little bit.
Go and get David off the old socket where Joey's starting to freak me out. Trying to have some hot dogs over here, he's putting me right off.
So we decide how we're going to design our next android anyway.
Yeah, the charge port is going to be in the peen.
I mean, the trailer itself, like, kind of poorly explains what the game, what the story of the game is, other than you're an android and you are a detective. I mean,
you're solving crimes.
Yeah, by that, by doesn't really explain very well. What I mean is, what extent does the story go?
Mm-hmm.
Like we were saying, is it just that one scene that you're playing over and over again, or
because I can't see the point?
What I'm assuming is because of the way that ends of my name is Connor Moo Man.
Version 0.2, fucking brilliant.
Sponsored by LG. This is my story. It's then going to go back to when he was a boy and was made in the factory.
I don't think they age. I don't think he starts off as a boy and then he gets older. I don't think that's how it happens.
What are you talking about? When a HDMI cable and a HDMI port fall deeply in love,
they have a special cuddle and then they give birth.
They dock.
Don't stop me thinking about a computer squeezing out a baby. Don't, because it's going to be awful. Thanks for being out the fucking Matrix. No, I don't think he doesn't get any older. I think he's just like, he just gets out of the factory like that, doesn't he?
Well, yeah,
I mean, spinning blue circle in his head.
Oh god, that's what I'm kind of worried about, because then it might go sort of the Beyond Two Souls route, where you're going through like 2 hours of gameplay where you're training in the training facility. Again.
again. No, because he wouldn't need to train. They'd just like put a USB charger up his bum, and then a USB thing stick up his bum, and then he'd just know everything.
But then again, they had the same sort of thing in Big Hero 6.
How do you mean?
Whereas in like the Baymax robot from that, you had to download like some karate program and install that on.
Yeah,
him.
like the Matrix.
Yeah, they still had to fucking make sure it was all working and everything.
Still got to try it out.
Yeah, still got to test it out.
Where would you try out negotiation before you actually go and do it in real life?
That's a good point.
Like that sort of stuff. Where would you find that to be? You'd have to orchestrate that situation to happen.
Put him in a retail position.
Yeah, no, to be fair, if he's in a retail position, he'd be the one kidnapping children trying to throw them off a bridge. Because fuck me, some people are stupid.
Yeah, I mean, also, we don't know that android's motives yet. I mean, did he go haywire, or was he just sick of the girl leaving her shoes everywhere?
Well, he did have the red ring of death.
Yeah.
So I think he might be powered by Microsoft. Like, he's like an old Xbox.
It was trying to download Windows 10, it all went a bit wrong.
Windows 10 is the sum of all evil. I'll say now. I think that's what it is.
I've got it on this computer, and it doesn't make me too happy, I'll be honest.
Something that's what it was. So, like, it's Windows 10 computer. The Windows 11's coming out soon. Let's brutally murder this one in a skip and get a new one. And because of his super hearing ears, he heard that and thought, right, well, I'm going to kill you all and throw your little girl off a bridge, off a roof. That seems like a rational sense of recourse for me.
Seems rational. I mean, depending on how big the game is going to be in the end, I'm really quite excited. That trailer does interest me.
And I will say, the way this one for me kind of goes over the other one is because it shows you the dialogue trees. It showed you the different outcomes and the different options, whereas in the Telltale one, it was all implied. You had to know that that's what they did already. And David Cage, even though this is the sort of stuff he does all the time, still went to the point of showing you that that's what this one's doing as well.
Yeah.
Which you could say is like dumbing it down, but I think it's more accessible for new people coming in.
Like, I think a good trailer has a good balance of gameplay and story, and I think this one does it quite well. Like, it shows the sort of dilemmas that you're going to get into in the game, and it shows you the sort of gameplay that you're going to get involved in. It's going to be it's going to be a relatively in-depth detective mechanic-based game. Walk around, and then you usually do your usual sort of butterfly effects dialogue choices,
and the more you get, the better you be at it. The better you be at it, bitch. And then and that's that one's quite exciting for me because, like I said, I do like his games. I was indifferent on fucking Beyond Two Souls. I liked it because it had William Dafoe in it, and William Dafoe on the PS3 was fucking horrifying.
Oh yeah, seeing his like perfectly rendered face is incredible.
Just looming around corners at you,
just going, "Hey, Ellen Page!"
trying to go in there and get some ghosts. There's no ghosts. It's just William Dafoe stuck his photo on everything. All the fucking cuckoo clock as well, like...
It's a ghost!
Hey, Ellen Page!
Can we contact David Cage and get him to remake Beyond Two Souls? Where it's just Willem Dafoe has like sellotaped his face to everything in the lab.
No, because the situation's going to occur where he pulls his trousers. Hey, Ellen Page! With his trousers pulled down, just windmilling himself, going, "Oh, little William Dafoe's crazy today." It's going to be weird. I'm not going to enjoy that. It's going to give me nightmares.
So
it just keeps getting closer and closer.
Is there anything else you want to isolate about the trailer?
It's looking very positive.
It's looking very positive. I mean,
it's a very interesting concept. It's something that he doesn't do a lot. Like, what has he done in the past? He's done kind of like kind of psychic stuff, like with a kind of like alternate dimensions kind of thing.
Yeah.
He's done like a straight detective thing because they took out you told me there's the psychic elements of Heavy Rain. Thank fucking God for that.
Oh yeah, there were elements they're wanting to put in the game, but someone decided, that's not a good idea.
And that's what David Cage needs. He needs an editor.
Because he's a self-proclaimed auteur, which is a problem because he's trying.
See, I thought he said he was a self-proclaimed autist.
Now, okay, we're ragging a lot on the tards today, so we might want to hold it back.
Let's hold it back. My brother's one, it's alright.
Oh, great. I know one, so it's fine.
This is like the Chinese friend again. Just let's not get into it.
I'm like Stevie Wonder, I'm not racist.
But yeah, so he's done that. He's done like a straight detective thing, and he did Indigo Fahrenheit Prophecy Syndrome.
Indigo Fahrenheit Prophecy Syndrome.
Yeah, he did that as well. That was all about like cults and stuff. That went haywire very quickly. You can see where David Cage kind of went bored now and decided to do something else. So as long as this one doesn't get that weird, And so it's a good shift for him. He's doing like sci-fi now.
So long as he can keep a cohesive narrative, because I think one of the issues with Beyond Two Souls was that he tried to do the whole Tarantino thing.
Yeah,
now we're ahead in time. Now we're back in time.
That's the only way you could have told that story, because if you told it linear, like in a linear fashion, you'd have been so bored by Act 2, you would have just given up.
Oh, yeah, I know, but rather than being bored, he's just confused and annoyed.
Yeah, true.
Which I suppose in itself is a driving force, but I suppose it's not ideal.
Trying to get to the point where you're not confused and annoyed anymore, but it just keeps getting worse. Hang on a minute.
Now we're in purgatory. What?
Wait. So hang on a minute. Stop. Just go back a minute.
Just get David Cage on the phone. I need to explain this.
Okay, I want answers and I want them fast. So yeah, but I don't see saying about giving it a cohesive narrative. I don't see how much you could have with that. He's an android. He solves crimes.
Yeah,
it's kind of like Inspector Gadget. Does he have like a can opener function on one arm?
Can he say go Gadget oil slick and spit toothpaste everywhere? Like in that terrible film with Matthew Broderick.
With Matthew Broderick, where they're like a fucking serial killer. It's very hot where we are.
It's very hot, so we're sorry.
That's why we got a bit weird.
So yeah,
I don't know what you could do with it though. That's the thing. Other than a kind of a LA Noire sort of thing, where you get like case rankings and you go through the cases and you try and build the world around that.
I'm worried that this game is coming out a bit late, because obviously towards the end of last year we had some media that came out that was very sort of based upon android robotics and artificial intelligence. Sort of the horror side of that. Like we had Soma come out, which explored the
I thought you meant in real life. I was worried then. I was like, are they actually doing this?
No, not this, but you had something that Soma that spoke about the duality between artificial intelligence and humanity, and where the line between that is. And then you had the film Ex Machina, which I'm still yet to see, but
apparently it's pretty good.
That's the thing, it looks really great, but it is that sort of thing again. It's like, at what point does artificial intelligence just become human?
I'll be honest with you, mate. I mean, because I did English for A-level, it spins around every 30 years or so. From Isaac Asimov onwards, I mean,
that's the thing.
Second like this whole idea came about of artificial intelligence, or even down to the base standard of just being a robot, you know, that's what all the stories about it were. Look at Iron Giant.
Yeah,
that was a thing, wasn't it? And then you had like iRobot. So it spins around about 30 years or so, mate.
It's just like
it's not a new idea.
It's just like vampires and zombies. It's just sort of a cycle that happens for some reason.
That we go through. I think it's a very interesting cycle. It's definitely the one I'm interested in most out of vampires, zombies, and like massacres. I'd like those stop happening, please.
What, just men in masks doing massacres?
Just anybody doing massacres anywhere.
Just stop it, please.
Can we all just get along?
Turkey!
For 5
what are you doing?
Fucking minutes.
It's hungry, isn't it?
I don't know. Well, I could eat. But,
Turkey?
Turkey? Yeah, I'd love some, thanks.
We're always up with the news.
It's going to be dirt cheap soon, isn't it? Let's be honest, because there's going to have fucking bomb holes to it all. I said bomb holes, not bum holes, just to reiterate, because... But yeah, so it's not a new idea.
Again, it's very hot today.
Because, I mean, David Cage doesn't have an original idea in his head. That's the problem.
No.
So it is going to be... Maybe that's a good thing, because at least you know what you're getting. Like, you know
but
what
like
the point of the story's going to be.
I think the interest in sort of robotics and whatnot has kind of dipped ever since last year. It's like I say, it's one of those cycles that comes around fairly regularly, but it also goes quite quickly as well.
I mean, if he was a bit quicker off the mark, maybe that happened and he was like, oh, I've got an idea for a video game, or an interactive movie, as he likes to call it.
Yeah.
Whatever. So, yeah, and then he started making it, and he's like, oh, everyone's gone off robots now.
I think he calls them interactive entertainment experiences.
What a ponce.
What a wanker. I mean, we love him. Don't stop what you're doing, David Cage. We love you.
Because you're a never-ending source of amusement.
But I mean, be it for good or bad reasons.
It's definitely going to be one that I'm going to get it, and we're going to play it for this.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Like we did with Until Dawn. Let's do a completes of it when it comes out.
Yeah, why not?
If it's still looking good, if it looks shit, then that's not bothering.
If it comes out and it's like 2 out of 10, David Cage's mistakes are all so obvious here, then fair enough. But even then, it might be entertainingly bad.
Yeah, it might have some things of comedy in there.
Christ, we've been going for an awful long time on this one. Blake, let's start with yourself. I think I kind of know the answer, but out of the 2 trailers...
I don't know.
You don't know? Okay, shall I go first?
Have you got a surefire?
I've got a surefire. I'm fairly even on both of them, but I lean more one way than other.
Right, go ahead.
Okay, I'm going to say, of course, I'm going to add the stipulation based on the trailer alone. Mm-hmm. I'm going to lean more towards. I almost called it Beyond. Detroit Become Human.
Okay.
Simply because, as a trailer, it was structured better. It came off at the gates with, okay, here's a decent story, here's a dilemma, here's the sort of thing you're going to face in the game. Oh, things have gone wrong. Guess what? Here's the gameplay for you.
Boom.
I think it was a really well-formulated trailer. It was slick, it was smooth, it really ticked boxes for me. And I know... because it's kind of having the opposite effect of Batman for me, where it's a case of you have to go in with some intuition about what the developers are. It's kind of having the opposite effect for me. Like, whenever I see this, I forget all of David Cage's problems. Like, this looks great. It's going to be the best game ever. It's Quantic Dream, Nathan. Stop it.
Lower your expectations
You're
a
going to
little
be
bit.
hurt again.
Why does he keep doing it to us?
Why does he hurt us so?
Why does Daddy keep hurting us? It's very hard.
It's very hard.
It's like a fucking Salvador Dali painting in here.
And yeah, you know, Batman's trailer, it looked decent, but for Batman, it wasn't brilliant for Batman. I'll be honest. I mean, Batman's strength is in its villains, and it didn't really have a lot. You had Harvey Dent and you had Catwoman, but like we said, Catwoman's not a villain.
British guy.
And some random British guy, and some nameless masked thugs with guns.
So there's enough of those.
There's enough of those. Were they like a recurring character? They weren't like the Red Hood gang or anything, were they?
They might be. It's been a long time since I've seen their design.
If it is, it's their own sort of sort of take on it, because they had like sort of red masks with like white marks.
Yeah,
on them.
white marks on them. They definitely weren't like the Liam Neeson's gang. Definitely weren't those guys.
No,
the hand. What were they called?
The Red Right Hand.
The Shadow Fuckers. What were they called?
Shadow Facts.
League of Shadows.
League of Shadows.
I said League of Gentlemen.
So that sounds like a band from like the early 2000s. That people would go around wearing black hoodies with their band logo
Kind
on.
of like Linkin Park.
Like Linkin Park, My Chemical Romance.
The Fallout Boys.
The Fallouted Boys. Bullet for My Valentines.
Yeah.
Oh, we're just being nostalgic now. Blake, what the fuck do you have to say about anything?
Well, I really like Batman.
Yeah?
I really, really, really love Batman. He's my favourite comic book character. And you're right, the strength is in the villains. But also, I even enjoy the storylines where it's going into depth and into the duality of who Bruce Wayne actually is. And when he stops being Bruce Wayne and when he stops being Batman. And the best comic books that I've read are the ones where he's shifted one way or the other. And it's about kind of the end of the story. He resolves back into coming to the middle again. And he's now half and half. See what I mean? So sometimes he'll go, so like Batman is his entire life, and he's letting his personal life and his personal side fall to bits. And other times, usually when he falls in love with somebody, that all goes, like, you know, when you get a new girlfriend or a new boyfriend, and that they're everything that you're talking about, everyone that you're with, and everything else kind of falls to bits for a while.
Like, I made this tea for you like 20 minutes ago, you've not shut up. It's gone cold,
Yeah,
Master Wayne.
Where have you been? You've been telling me about what Candice is up to. I don't care, mate. I know you've been down the KFC today, but that's
Candice.
Candice down at the KFC. That's
I
how
like
she
to
works.
imagine Bruce Wayne falls in love with every woman he meets.
Just a never-ending cycle. I love her. I have to have her.
It would
Lady
make
jogs
sense.
by. I love her. I have to have her.
It would make sense with his mummy issues.
Yeah, that's true. That's his Oedipus
Then why don't we
complex.
wite Batman?
We should totally
We'll
write
make him a
Batman.
lonely masturbator.
Just sitting on a gargoyle, furiously wanking it. But yeah, I really like Batman. And where it is now, that episode 1, it ain't tickling any fun buttons for me.
No?
Like you say, it's not got any good villains in. You don't, because I don't play Telltale anyway. I don't know how the story's going to integrate with what we saw. Like the gameplay's going to integrate with the story, I should say. I don't know how much like story or choice is going to be in a Batman story. How much choice is there? You can't just choose, I'm not going to fight the villains today, I'm going to go off and play ping pong. You know, there's no... it's still in the hood and everything.
Yeah.
There's no, I am the shadows. Quick, this is a cool serve. I call it a League of
playing
Shadows
alone.
serve. Yeah. He has to run around the other side and then tap it back to him. He's a very sad, lonely masturbator. And like I say, I'm very interested in David Cage, and this looks... Batman has been around for what? Since the 40s?
Something like that,
I can wait till the next one for the Batmans. There's never going to stop making Batman games, right?
No, Batman's going to be a consistent presence.
Yeah, it's going to be a consistent kind of staple in our culture and our zeitgeist forever.
Let's face it, Warner Brothers can't leave the fucking thing alone, can
Well,
they?
it's the thing they've got now that makes them the most money consistently, I suppose, isn't
Yeah.
it? But we'll have to see how that goes, because obviously Arkham Knight was dreadful. But, yeah, so with Detroit Become Human, that's something, even though it's like an Asimov story, and it's like iRobot, and it's like AI, and it's like Blade Runner... It still
that
has
really
the
does come
potential.
around every, 30 years, doesn't it?
Because when you say the kind of the films in the order, you realise how it all kind of comes around. But it has the potential, while having the kernel of the idea that's been done before, to go off in its own kind of crazy David Cage directions. Like, I want to see a bit where you go inside the android's head after he gets injured or something. It's like a bad android and a good android playing a game of chess or some crazy shit. That's what I'd imagine David Cage would do. And then all of a sudden, a cult comes out of nowhere that's turning the
inside his head.
Inside, yeah, that's turning all the androids evil. And then Ellen Page and William Dafoe are just banging in the back corner while Batman's playing ping pong. Like, I can imagine that's be something that David Cage will have in there. So
every time David Cage hands his scripts to like the people like making the cutscenes in the games, I just imagine they sort of look at it, look up, and go, "Are you sure?
Are you fucking kidding me? This is what you want to do? All right, on your head be it. No, can we make the buttocks more sweaty and glistening?
What?
If we have to, I guess.
That sex looks too real. Make him like fuck a belly button. What?
Like something out of Tommy Wiseau's The Room. But yeah, so I'm going to go for Detroit as well.
You're going to go for Detroit? Good, thank fuck, because at the beginning there I thought you were going to go the other way and I thought we'd have to duke it out.
No, I'm going to go Detroit as well, because like I said, it has the potential to be, it's fresher, it's newer. After Arkham Knight, I'm kind of turned off of Batman games for a bit.
To be fair, I haven't played anything after Asylum. I've heard City is good, but I kind of don't like the open worldness of it.
It was a gentle decline, I think.
Okay.
I think Arkham Asylum is definitely the best one.
Yeah, no, I really liked Arkham Asylum.
By a yard and a mile.
Save for some of like the boss fights and...
Yeah, but it was the first one, so like it could be kind of have its erroneous errors. But when you get like number 3 and it's still the same problem, like fucking sort it out, you know? That's what it annoyed me more in 3 than it did 1, because I've had 3 games to sort it out.
Yeah, and the second one I'm assuming is a case of, well, you know, the first game did well, so I kind of assumed they would keep a similar sort of mechanic.
The second game was alright. Third game wasn't downright terrible, it's just less okay, but yeah. So I'm going to go Detroit as well, because it's more, it's just fresher, it's newer, it's got more potential to be good. And I got more out of the trailer, like you said as well, with the kind of like the dialogue options, and it showed you examples of the different scenarios you could end up in. Whereas Batman was just like, this is the storyline.
Like you say, where can you can't really go a great distance with the Batman, although
he can't die.
No.
He can't kill anybody.
Well, I mean, you can die, but you just have to restart the game.
Yeah.
One thing they're probably going to tackle, like you say, with the whole Bruce Wayne v Batman sort of thing, is like, will they start to make Batman? Will one of the choices be, are you going to kill this dude or are you not?
Make him more antagonistic.
Yeah,
it's a way you could go with it, I guess. That's the only 2 paths you can go. Batman's brilliant. There's the myth set up in the end. Batman's an anti-hero, like the Punisher, and some people think he's necessary and some people don't like him very much. They want to get him captured. Basically, like the Dark Knight at the end.
Yeah,
it's all been done before, mate.
Yeah, that's
not
the issue with.
You can go through.
I think that's one of the issues with Batman. But there's not much else to explore nowadays of it.
I mean, you can keep reinventing the villains.
Yeah, keep doing that, please.
The villains can keep moving around. That's cool.
Just keep Bane Mexican, please.
Please, if you could, that'd be excellent.
Make Bane great again.
2016. So yeah, I think Detroit's a good way to go. And like I say, out of the 2, the one I want to get for this and play for this is Detroit over Batman.
Yeah, I mean, I don't see Batman just going by the trailer. It kind of looks forgettable. Yeah,
I mean, it may hot up and it may get like episode 3 and we're like, we were so fucking wrong. But right now, like, nah, mate. And at least with Detroit, you get a whole game as well. Let's put that down there now, rather than paying for one bit and then having to pay for the next bit,
Well, you get a David Cage game.
Equivalent to 1 episode of Batman, I guess, but
yeah, that's I mean, Telltale themselves, they have a very mixed history. Like I say, you've got your Game of Thrones, which people didn't care for. You've got your Minecraft, which people are saying is okay. Then you've got things like The Wolf Among Us, which I think is brilliant. The very first season of The Walking Dead, and then you've got the one they did for the Borderlands, which they did one for Borderlands, and people think it's the best thing.
What?
It's the best thing, apparently.
Okay.
It's apparently hilarious and perfect, so...
I didn't think Borderlands... If it's the same humour from Borderlands, then it's not going to sell me, I'm afraid, guys. But there we go.
Well, it's nice to know that we've come to an agreement again. Again, we'll never disagree, I don't think.
I don't think we will. I think, because we've grown up... Because that's the thing, we've known each other for what, like... 15 years?
We do have very different tastes, I think, when it comes to games.
True.
I mean, you like Uncharted... I'm fairly lukewarm on it.
I was going to say, you like Uncharted, I like good games.
I wouldn't be so harsh on you, darling.
Thank you, sweetie. Cheers, babe.
Cheers, babe. So thank you everyone for joining us for another Trailer Blazers.
Yeah, I hope you enjoyed it.
Hopefully we'll get back to making these regular again, but
Yeah.
ever since E3, I think we've had the opposite desired effects where we just kind of got overwhelmed with trailers.
And it's really hot.
It's really hot now. So hopefully next time it'll be cooler and we won't be so waffly. Let's get some waffles.
Let's do it.
Let's get some waffles. Thank you for joining us, ladies and gentlemen, so keep on and keep on watching.
Or
That's not just for Super Happy Fun Times, is it?
Oh, we're doing it for everything now.
I don't know.
Or like a big 2-litre bottle of cider and some Coke.
What now?
Yeah, that'd be great.
Alright, let's go get some cider. Thank you very much.
Coke.
Sure.
Thank you.
Can we end this now?
Yes, sorry, go on.
Thanks, bye.
It's hot.